So today we will be discussing about mechanical advantage and the transmission angle and some other mechanisms which we are frequently using. So I am Vijay Lakshmi, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department from Tandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology, Delhi. So now first let us see what is a mechanical advantage. So the mechanical advantage is one of the most important quality measures or index of all mechanism. So it is defined as the ratio of the power output torque exerted by the driven link to the required input torque at the driver link. So you know that always by conservation of power, the output power is equal to input power. But the input will rotate at a different angular velocity and the output may rotate at a different angular velocity. So in that case, if T2 is the torque at the input and T4 is the torque at the output, then you can write T2 omega 2 is equal to T4 omega 4. Now if we are finding out the ratios between the output torque to the input torque, which is the mechanical advantage, we can see that it is equal to the inverse of the angular velocities omega 2 by omega. So if the mechanical advantage is higher, then you can see the input torque required to do the same output or to get the same output torque is less. Suppose if you have mechanical advantage as 3, then T2 is equal to T4 by 3. If we have the mechanical advantage as 4, then T2 is equal to T4 by 4. So the greater the mechanical advantage, the smaller the input torque is required for the same output torque. Now let us see one important factor in a mechanism which is called as the transmission angle. So the transmission angle, so it is the angle gamma. So the angle gamma between the coupler and the driven link or the follower is known as the transmission angle. So you can see that in the figure which is given below. So here if you see, if the link AB is the input and link CD is the output. So this is the input which is completely rotating or cranking and CD is the output which is going to rock. Then the link BC connecting the input and the output is called as the coupler. Okay, so the angle made by this coupler with the output link is known as the transmission angle. So for a particular value of the force, the applied torque at the output shaft is maximum when gamma is 90. So here you can see mechanical advantage is nothing but the torque that is available at CD, that is the output link, divided by the torque that is applied at the input link, that is AB. So TCD by TAB is equal to omega CD by omega AB. Omega CD. So which is equal to C into the length of the link into sine gamma divided by A input link into sine beta. So it is C sine gamma divided by A sine beta. So here you can see that the torque is dependent upon the transmission angle gamma. So when the mechanism, if in this mechanism, if BC and DC are in a straight line, are coincident, then gamma will become 0 and then the mechanism will just lock. So suppose this BC, it comes here, it is aligning with DC, then this gamma will become 0. So BC is getting aligned with DC, so gamma will become 0, then the mechanism will lock, it will not execute any motion. So when this BC, if it is perpendicular, we always know when it is perpendicular, then the angle or the force will be, the torque will be more. So when BC is 90 degree to DC, then the torque exerted on CD will be more. So the more the gamma deviates from 90, the torque on the input link decreases. So generally, gamma, the transmission angle is kept above 45. So the maximum and the minimum value of gamma can be found by putting the value of d gamma by d theta equal to 0. So the transmission angle plays an important role in determining the output torque. So next we'll discuss about some miscellaneous mechanisms. So already we'll be discussing about the cam mechanism in the third unit. So now we will discuss about toggle mechanism. So the toggle mechanism is used where we apply a small force to overcome a large resistance. So you have link OA. So this is going to rotate. It is connected, this is link OA. It is connected by AB. To AB you have two links 4 and 5 which are of equal length. So the link 4 is pivoted about the point 1, whereas the link 5 is attached to a slider. Okay, so here you have the resistance. So this is going to move in this direction. So opposing to that you have the resistance P. So when this resistance is very large, even when the resistance is very large, if we apply a very small force F, that will be able to overcome this large resistance. So such a mechanism is called as the toggle mechanism. So toggle mechanisms are used when large resistance are to be overcome through short distances. Here the effort applied will be small, but it will act over large differences. So here you can see in the figure 2 is the input link to which power is supplied and 6 is the output link which has to overcome the external resistance. So the links 4 and 5 are of equal length. So considering the equilibrium condition of slider 6, we know that, so this is a, according to this we are going to apply Lami's theorem or dissolving the forces. So you have tan alpha is equal to F by 2 by E or F is equal to 2p tan alpha. So for very small angles of alpha, the value of F is very much smaller than the P or the resistance. So this mechanism is used in rock crushers, presses, riveting machines, etc. Next we will see about universal joint. So here you can see the universal joint. So the universal joint is used to transmit motion and torque between two shafts which are inclined to one another. So if they are in the same line, you can use a coupling. But when the two shafts are input, that is the input shaft and the output shaft are inclined to each other, then in such a case to transmit the torque we use the universal joint. So here in the universal joint you can see there are two yokes. One is the driving yoke and the other is the driven yoke. In between that you have the spider or the trunnion. So the trunnion has a cross head. So it has a cross head and on over all these four cross you have needle bearings with the collar. So here you can see the universal joint attached to the propeller shaft. So what are the various characteristics of the universal joints which makes it extremely useful are speed variations. So even while operating at an angle, it can be used. So the U-joint speed up and down twice per revolution. So the universal joint uses the basic mechanical principles. There are 4 points of attachment, usually with needle bearings, 2 per shaft. So that we have already discussed. So each of the shaft ends called yoke arms or yokes attaches to a cross pin, providing a flexible joint while taking a large loads. So the only problem is this: when the input shaft is rotating at the constant speed based upon the angle of inclination of the other shaft, the output will have at a various speeds. So what we generally do is to cancel out this effect, universal joints are generally used in cars. Okay, so that is the main drawback. So you can see the advantages. So it is a more flexible and the torque transmission between shafts with angular misalignment. It is cheap and cost effective, simple to assemble and dismantle, torque transmission efficiency is high, and the joint permits angular displacements. Yes, with this we had covered almost all the topics in the first unit. Thank you.